Howdy, 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 howdy. And I saw your comment there, Cheryl. So here's Mr. Eye Candy just for you. He had to stand up and do something before we started, and his bum was over the other way. So you missed out on a bum shot.
It's part of Karen's contract. I have to show my butt before the show.
Hey Laura, Laura from Rawside Paranormal. Is your magazine thingy out yet? If so, please. If it is, send me the link and I'll check it. I can't. Oh, I'm in the wrong window. Wait a minute. Hang on, Laura. Wait on. Oh, this is just so organised, isn't it? I'll give you a spanner, Laura, so that you can share. Where am I? YouTube. There I am. So you can share the link to your magazine. Just a second. Where are we? How can I do this? I'm so not. There we are. View on YouTube. I'll get there. Welcome in to Disorganized Karen. Where we are. Laura. There she is.
In answer to Tanya's question, well, yes, this is a new shirt.
Yeah. I'm glad you're keeping an eye. Right. You've got a spanner if you want to. Not yet. The first of the month. Okay. All right. Well, you've got a spanner, so next time you come in, put the link to the magazine in here. Okay. Hi, Julie. Right. Let me see who's here. Let me see. I know Betty's here. She let me whinge about my headache earlier. Enzo had a headache too. He is also medicated. So there you go. Oh, gosh. Cheryl. Yes, Cheryl. Betty. Laura, Tanya, and I saw, where's that Jonathan? I saw Jonathan. There he is, Jonathan. Hey. Oh, I'm starting to try to get back into catching up with all of my favourites, live streams and stuff, and Jonathan is someone I haven't caught up with for a while, and I need to, because I do enjoy his little drives to work. I like watching, isn't it weird? I like watching, because he's driving and he's got his camera facing the road. Right. I kind of enjoy, you kind of feel like you're in the car with him while he's driving to work, and I'll be listening to him, but I'll be watching the road to see what I can see on the side of the road. But yes, that's not all he does. He actually does investigating and stuff as well. It's just, and he's got his little
watch it on mute. We understand. It's
yes, but I'm just a bit. I wanted to show everybody too. I was on the Facebook, and I'll show you. Yeah, I'll put that one down so I don't. I got very excited. As you know, I love the critters. I love the animals. And my friend Taylor, she lives, there's Virginia City, and then you go down the road just around the bend and down like 7 minutes in a car, and there's Gold Hill. So Taylor lives in Gold Hill, right? And she's had a big bear show up at her house a couple of times. And I've said, go out and give it some bread. And she just laughs at me and says, no. I still think I would probably see that it was far enough away from the house and then probably throw it a chicken or something. I'd make sure I had something to give it. But anyway, so I know there's a bear in Gold Hill, right? I don't know where it lives, but I know there's one there. So on the Facebook this morning, there's a motel in Virginia City called the Sugarloaf Motel. And they put a thing up on Facebook this morning, so I'll show it to you. And I was so excited. Watch this. Share the screen. Window. This one. Share. Let's have a look. Okay. So before I hit the play button. Hang on. Before I hit the play button, I'll just point it out. Up here, can you see it? There's the rubbish bin. And there's the little critter. Although not that little. But it's probably only a young one, but I'll hit play. Look at it. Isn't it cute?
It's a good sized bear.
Yeah. God damn it. It wasn't there. But there you go. So there he is one more time.
Oh, I see. Digging in
I
the
bet,
trash.
yeah, digging in the trash, and that's why I think if I lived there, I would put out a meal for him every night. Eventually, he'd get to know me and he wouldn't eat me, don't you think?
I'm, I'm guessing that that's uncommon for that area to have bears rustling around in the area.
I think so. Well, so I'm told, or at least I think the problem is that most people, if that's 2 a.m. in the morning, most people are generally asleep. So, but I
Oh,
thought about it and I thought I've been there at that time of the year and I walked like being at, if I was at the Washoe or somewhere like, I've walked home at that morning, not drunk. I don't mean drinking. I mean out looking for ghosties. I've walked home at that hour. I've never seen anything. I don't know what I would do actually if I came face to face with the bear.
that was a black bear, right?
Yeah. I think you're supposed to
Gen-
keep it, or do
Generally,
you?
black bear, you can just kind of like clap your hands and yell real loud, and they'll get skittish and just go the other
But you
direction. But
see, the idiot within me would probably go, "Oh," and be tempted to go, "Hello," and then think, "Shit, what have I done?" And run, and they can run. I've seen footage of bears running. I'd have no freaking
oh
hope.
yeah,
I have no hope. But I would say it's probably used to seeing people. I've seen tons of footage of bears, and they look all right. Oh, bears are cute, Tanya. What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? Yeah, it does only look like a little one because if I saw, yeah, I don't know. Luckily for me, I don't live where there's a bear in my rubbish bin, but I think I'd much rather see a bear in my rubbish bin at that hour of the morning than a human. And
there's still
humans,
cleanup
most of,
involved with both. It's
yeah,
when you spend a couple hours cleaning all the garbage that's thrown all over your front yard in the morning. I'm sure you probably would get sick of that real fast.
yeah, the bear only wants your food. Never feed them. Bad idea. Or maybe.
You shouldn't
I
feed
suppose
wild
so.
animals all the way around.
Well,
I
you,
mean,
well, you shouldn't really. That's why I don't feed the wild horses because they could
you
come
just
back and want more cuddles.
clumsily drop stuff when they're nearby.
I do. Like, what can I do? I've got my hands full, and then it's like, oh my god, and they nudge me, and it drops all over the floor. What are you gonna do? Hi, Dr. Deb. Oh dear, and Foxfire's here too. Hello, hello. So yes, so I just thought I'd share you that little bit of footage. I thought that was pretty
That's
cute.
funny.
Yeah, I like that because I know exactly where that is. The Sugarloaf. That's another nice place to stay if you're ever in Virginia City. They've got air conditioning there if you're one that doesn't like the warm weather. Um,
There's a lot
what's
of places
Tony?
that have bears like that. They have big metal type garbage cans where they can't get into them.
Mm. You see, I kind of think, but you're throwing out the food. You're throwing it out. You're throwing out the food. So why let it go to waste and what? Just pop it in something different. But then I suppose the point is the bears need to be able to uh, feed themselves naturally.
Right.
However, having said that, humans are knocking down where they live, and humans are maybe not so much in Nevada, Virginia City, because there's tons of mountains, but in general, humans have
I,
encroached on where they live.
of
So,
course, the scientific reason, of course, is they won't be able to fend for themselves. Like if you go on vacation for a few weeks and that food isn't there for them, then now they've got to go foraging somewhere else in somebody else's backyard because it was okay when it
oh
was in
no,
yours.
well, yeah, well, if you're
And
going to feed them and you go on a vacation for a few weeks, that's when you send someone else in and make sure they continue the
for
feed while you're on.
right for
Babysit them
my
for me.
in my book, I think it's kind of like okay, like in the latter part of the fall, they need those extra calories to pack on before they go into hibernation, and other animals are either migrating, heading south for the winter kind of a thing, so they need a few extra calories themselves. To me, that kind of stuff that seems like it's kind of okay to put
Yeah, I don't know.
stuff out.
But yeah, but see, it depends where you live. If I lived in the city close to other people's houses, then yes, I wouldn't because you're correct. But if I lived in the bush or in the forest or whatever you call it in America, if I lived in the countryside and I had a farm and there was a bear, like there's that man on the YouTube who has the bears come up onto his porch, and they used to knock down his bird seed, and then he'll put just the tiniest, like it's just a tiny treat. But then the mama bear brought the baby bears to visit him once she had baby bears, and it was so cute. And you can tell he doesn't feed them enough to feed
Right.
them. He just gives them a treat. But there's nothing for me, someone who loves animals, there's nothing that makes you feel more wonderful than a wild animal that trusts you. Like, so for a wild animal. So I love
I,
that.
I saw a video earlier this week of a mama bear shows up on this guy's front porch, and it was acting like weird. It was like Lassie kind of a thing, like, you need to come this way with me. So he follows the bear, and her two cubs had gone way in the top of this tree and were too scared to come down and couldn't get down. So he climbs up the tree, drags them down one at a time, and they did the same thing. Like a day or so later, they all showed up on his front porch to kind of say hi as thanks, I guess.
Yes, I've seen a thing of that foxfire. It's amazing what people can get on film. But we have that similar thing here. I do feed the wild birds because around here all of their trees and stuff have been knocked down. I mean, that's why I do it, because they're in their entire little habitat where they used to sit. There's so many, and eventually they'll fly away and they'll find somewhere else to live, I hope. But I feel so bad, so I just put out bits of fruit, like good food, like not crappy $2
Sure.
bags of bird food from the thing, like some good food. I put out some nuts and bits of fruit and a little bit of I've got wild finches. I put out finch food for them, and they love it. But for the bigger birds, nuts and peanuts and things like that, and they fly in. Now I've got the normal cockatoos, the crested ones.
Mm.
I've got that, and they've all got their little time frames. So first thing in the morning, it's generally the cockatoos. They come in, they fly in, and they get some food. Then they fly away, and then my king parrots come in. They come in, they eat. Then they fly away. Then the galahs come in. The galahs are grey and pink, and they look like cockatoos, but they're not cockatoos. They're just smaller birds. And then they fly away. Now I've got another cockatoo, a breed of cockatoo that comes in as well. They've got a different name, and I've forgotten what it is now, but I've got all these different birds that I've never even seen before. It's amazing to me how the animal kingdom talks to itself and says, hey,
That's the
this lady,
place.
yeah, that's the place to go if you want a snack, if you want a treat.
It's like
And
kids on Halloween. It's like, hey, three places down. That's the one. They're giving out the full size candy bars. Go, go.
oh, look at what we live next door to that. How did you say that?
Adirondack Mountains in upstate New
Yeah,
York.
they have a candy store, and the bear broke in twice and ate all the candy. Oh, I bet the bear had a tummy ache. Yeah, that's the thing. Like someone said before, could have been Cheryl, said about rubbish, like it's not good for them to eat the rubbish. No, I don't think it is either.
Uh,
But
Most of the
that's
food, if
why
we're throwing it away, it probably wasn't good for us either. So,
yeah, so but I think sometimes we do throw food out, and animals, like, you've got to think, a bear, if it kills a fresh kill and eats, but you don't, but their gut is a lot stronger than a human gut.
oh yeah, they
Same
can
with
eat anything.
same with dogs. Dogs' guts are a lot stronger too. So
My
yeah.
78-year-old neighbor has a couple different types of bird feeders out in front of her place, to include a little thing for hummingbirds. And early morning, they all come buzzing in. There's like three or four of them, and then they buzz away. You don't see them for the rest of the day. Early spring, she knows all the different types of birds that come in, and what, like you said, they have a timing thing. It's like, oh, next shift, send in this wave of birds. In the spring, she always keeps an eye out. There's, hey, uh, there's,
That's an old joke. Let me think if I
yeah,
can
it is.
remember the joke. I think it's probably the same in Australia. Here, there was one about it's a thing about a prostitute. Like, I can't remember the joke, but that's what she says. Oh, any cockle-doo, or something like that. Cock-a-doodle-doo. It's an old joke.
But
uh,
my
yeah.
neighbor, she has red-winged blackbirds that come in the early morning. and they're amazing looking. I don't know if you've ever seen them. The male, they look like your standard. They're just all jet black, but they have this big bright spot on the end, like in the root of the wing, that it just looks brilliant when you see it.
Oh, heaven knows the joke I'm talking about too. I just can't remember it. I'm not very good. I can listen to jokes and laugh at them, but retelling a joke, I'm no good at. Unless someone tells me, whispers it in my ear straight away, and I say it. I'm shocking. I could never be a comedian. um, oh, okay. Heather's got a joke for us.
Here we go. Here we go.
What's
Hang
the
on.
difference? Yeah, what's the difference between a rooster and a crow? A rooster says cock-a-doodle-dop. What? Cock-a-doodle-dop? Hang on. Oh,
Hey,
I
there's
didn't
no
hear
sound
it.
in that.
Where's the sound?
What happened?
Uh, oh, there we go. And the pro says any. Oh, okay. A rooster says cock-a-doodle-dop or cock-a-doodle-doo. I think that's what it's meant to be. Spell check. All right, let's start again. What is the difference between a rooster and a prostitute? A rooster says cock-a-doodle-doo, and a prostitute says any cock will do. Oh, I can't get barred off of the YouTube for that, I don't think. It's a very old joke. Thank you for that, Heather. Yeah. Oh, still no sound. What's going on? Never mind. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. It's all right. It's all right. He will catch up later. We've got to have the sound effects. We've got to have the sound. Oh, what else was I going to say? Yeah, further up, I think it was who said it about the door handles on the car. I've seen footage of people going out to their car in the morning, and there's been like little bears in the car. I saw actually I saw a good one yesterday. I wish I knew how to find these things. I saw there was a man and his daughter sitting in a car with their phone filming, right? But what it was someone else had filmed a mama bear, and it looked like a grizzly. It didn't look like a black bear. A mama bear and a baby bear. And the baby bear is standing up next to mama bear going, hey, like this, like it's going, hey. And you hear, then it goes to the guy in the car with his camera filming, and the little girl going, oh, can I pet the bear? And the dad's going, no, we're not going over there. They're just tricking us. They're hungry. Like he was making out like the baby bear was, come here. We'll eat you. But it was so cute. I wouldn't go anywhere near a grizzly bear. I'd be running.
No
But
way.
they run so fast. I've seen footage. A human's got not a chance in the world.
Those claw. I mean, their paw is like a catcher's mitt with knives on it. They're horrifying.
Oh, they are. Yeah, D, bin chicken sound. Let me find a picture of a bin chicken for everybody. I'll just write bin chicken. They're ibis. They're actually, I think they're quite nice. Bin chicken. There it is. Images. Images. Come on, mouse. Where's a pretty picture? Because I think they're pretty. They kind of got ugly faces, but their tails are really pretty. Oh, out of all the pictures of bin chickens, there's nothing really pretty. You see tons of them. I suppose that's good enough. Let's have a look there. Bin chicken mystery. Where are all the ibis? Yeah, actually, where are all of the ibis? I haven't seen any around here for a while. D, come to think of it, I bet you they've bloody culled them or something with everybody's backs turned.
Is that something they do?
Oh, look, they do things. They cull. Oh, that's a nicer picture. All right, I'll share. Well, I'll tell you something in a second. You know me, I can't. I'm not very good. Bin chickens, window, bin chicken, share. I'm not very good. That's a bin chicken. Can you see it?
Oh, yes.
So he's got, you can't tell because this isn't big enough, I suppose, but see how kind of fluffy they are? Their tails, when you see them up close, their tails look like, well, feathers, but very like lace, like very pretty. And yeah, but around here, the poor little ibis, like everything else, their habitats have gone, and they go to the rubbish bins like seagulls and all other sorts, crows, But yeah, there used to be well, I used to have a ton around here. Someone come in my yard in the morning, but I think that's what happened to my goldfish. So maybe they've just come back and gone, oh, there's no more fish to eat. Um, but yeah, yeah, we call them bin chickens, especially here in Queensland. I don't know what are they like down in Victoria. In Victoria, generally, you've got the seagulls. If you go to McDonald's or Burger King / Hungry Jack's, we call it here, there'll be a whole heap of seagulls around, depending on where you live. If you're in the middle of the bush, it's usually the ibis or whatever. But I think they're pretty. I love all the birds. I don't mind them. There has to
Right.
be a way we can, yeah, monster seagulls. I
Yeah.
have. Well, I was at a barbecue once on the side of the Murray River down in Melbourne, and we were cooking hot dogs on the grill, and a seagull just swooped down, picked up the hot dog. It's the one it had to have burnt its throat. Swooped down onto the barbecue, picked up the hot dog in its mouth, and flew away with this hot dog coming out of its mouth like that. And I thought, like, oh, friggin' quick. But there you go.
Around
Um,
here, we have great blue herons, and they're pretty big. They'll be about little under a meter tall, and they will wipe out a little fish pond like that.
Oh, let's get a picture of a blue heron. There he is. Wah, wah, wah. This is a nature talk today. We've talked about bears.
I,
Where are we?
yes,
There he
I
is.
have some of you.
There he
Yeah,
is. Share, present, share, window. There he is.
yeah.
Is that him? Yeah, great blue
Oh
heron.
yeah.
They're big, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're really big. And there's actually what's really cool is there's a lesser blue heron that's only like half the size, and they're the cutest things in the world.
Oh, you know what birds I do like, except I think it's the roadrunners. The roadrunners, that you see them. Um, I've seen I've seen roadrunners before. I thought they were little mini dinosaurs from a distance, but yeah, I love it. Um, Tanya, when I go to England in September, the first couple of weeks, I'm going to get Beardo. I'll talk to Beardo, and I'm going to ask him to meet me somewhere and take me down to the Cardiff foreshore or whatever the hell it's called, where you can buy fish and chips. And I'm going to buy a whole heap of hot chips, some for me, but mostly for the seagulls. I'll probably get in trouble, but I think that's what happens. You go down and sit at the pier or wherever it is at Cardiff, and the seagulls come in and raid you and take you, um, you know, um, take all your chips. So I'm looking forward to saying that I've been attacked by the seagulls in Cardiff.
When I was
uh,
a kid, there was a big lake in the town there nearby where I lived, and McDonald's was right there along the lake, and God, the seagulls would just be swarmed around there for anybody to drop anything. And the thing you would do, because a lot of kids would hang out around there, like driving age kids, 16 to 18. Someone you didn't like or was giving you a hassle, you would take like a full thing of French fries and throw it on top of their car, and just all these seagulls rah, just scratch up their paint and poop all over their car and everything else.
well, in when I stay in Virginia City, there's pigeons. My friend Connie, the pigeons roost on her roof at night time. So she feeds them in the morning, give them a cup of food, and they all fly down. So they roost there at night. But when I was staying in the Silver Queen, I was in one of the rooms at the front, because that's the room I like, so I can look out at the Sugarloaf Mountains and look down and see when the coffee shop opens and all that sort of thing. But the pigeons also roost there. So if I had a snack and I didn't want to finish it, I would just crumble it all up on the windowsill. And by the time I got back, gone. The pigeons had eaten it all. So yeah, um, Kibber, be careful. Seagulls can be vicious and take your finger. Oh, rubbish!
Take your,
they,
I don't know about that.
can grab your finger. That's for sure. Yeah, yeah. Just don't let
You can
them.
carry
If
off a
you've got,
whole hot dog.
yeah, yeah. If you've got sausage hands, or if you're holding a hot dog, be careful. Um, yeah, ibis are tall. They'd be about just a little bit like if you're standing up and there was an ibis next to you, a fully grown ibis, its head would probably just come up to your knee, just about a little bit above your knee. They're quite big, but they're harmless. They run away. Um, I got told that there's footage of me somewhere chasing a Canadian goose around a cemetery because I was trying to catch it and give it a cuddle, and everyone's going to me, Karen, don't chase the. It's a Canadian goose. It'll have it. It never had a go at me. It ran away from me. It wouldn't let me get it. So I was obviously more scary to the Canadian goose than it was to me. They're pretty cute. I like them. Yeah, I
They're
like all
gross.
them.
No. They
Yeah,
were
and
the
I know.
bane of my existence when I was working wildlife control when I was in the Air Force right before I retired.
Oh, the
That's
geese
what I dealt
were.
with all the time, or Canada geese and ducks, mallards for days. But
You
that's
have to
why
be
we
careful.
had a dog that we would use that would chase them around, but it was trained to never like catch them, kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
just
But
chase them off.
it was a good wildlife thing because in the bird's head they view the dog like a predator, like a wolf. So if they go into an area and they see the dog chasing them around, they won't come back because they know there's a predator there.
Canadian
That's
geese are
how,
nasty.
yeah, that's how we would keep birds away from the airfield so they wouldn't get hit by the planes.
Yeah, you were crazy Aussie running after it. It's like it's not Canadian. It's not intimidated by me. Because I can't remember the name of the cemetery. I traveled so much that year in America and went to a whole heap of different cemeteries, but it was at a cemetery and there were lots of ducks. I actually got, this is how much the other people with me looked after me. I got separated from them and lost, but I didn't care because I was chasing all the ducks and the geese around. And I'm trying to remember if I had anything in my pocket to give them or not. I don't think I did. I did have something to begin with, and I fed some of them. There were ducks and there were geese. Oh, and there were squirrels, and I was trying to, and I was just having so much fun, and everyone else just walked off, and no one called out to me. So in the end, I was lost, and I thought, yeah, they'll find me later. But I was just having a ball. But yeah, and then I got told not to chase the geese because they were Canadian geese, and I said, yeah, no, but I tried to catch one. I wanted to catch it because I'm used to holding turkeys. Turkeys are huge, and I thought I'll just catch it. I'll just give it a cuddle. But no, it just ran. So I had no trouble with the Canadian geese. Probably they just really
Get that head real low to the ground and start hissing, chasing you.
no, me or the geese. Oh, Jonathan. Okay. I promise I say it every time, but I'm going to try and find you later on in the day or tomorrow and go to work with you in the car. um let's see, what's that? D. My dad's mate's little dog got taken by a pelican while. Oh no! Who takes a chihuahua fishing? Puppy, puppy, did you hear that? Look at him. He's devastated. He was asleep. You were asleep.
He's always got those red eyes. What's that
He's
chihuahua
got that.
doing?
He's asleep. He's asleep. Go back to sleep. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, dear. Um, yeah. Well, we worry about that here too. We've got eagles. We've got hawks. A hawk could probably. Oh, I don't know. Puppy's a little bit fat, but a hawk could definitely. I mean, they pick up rabbits, but rabbits are pretty light. But they pick up rabbits and you always. Yeah, like if and you can see them too. The hawks, you can see the hawks if you've got a good eye and you know where to look. So when I lived in the country, and I had puppy, when I lived in the country, there was no way I let like he was inside. You don't, yeah. I mean, they're quick; they'll come down and get him. But yeah, oh, Ian and Tanya did the dong because they mustn't be able to hear. Yeah, awkward.
What?
Yeah, try it again.
Did you hear it?
Nope.
What?
What? Dun 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 dun.
It says it's going out on the output.
Yeah, I can't hear it. Did you hear it, Tanya? Did you hear it, or are you doing? No, the donger didn't work, Enzo. So that's weird. I wonder.
I hate it when my donger doesn't work.
Laura says no dong. Enzo. How are you, Ian, anyway? Oh, dear, dear, dear. Oh, no dong. Yeah, everyone's saying no dong, no bong. Oh, dear. Never mind. Doesn't matter. But yeah,
Should
so
be working. I don't know why it's not.
because I think don't they take their food and then generally drop it from a great height so they can eat it? Oh, crows are very nasty. We've got crows here, and I do like the crows, but I don't like the crows because when I had turkeys, pet turkeys, Mama Turkey had babies, and I was so thrilled. And she'd run around the backyard, and I'd look at the babies and pick them up and put them back down. So I loved the baby, but I was in the backyard, and I was doing some gardening. Mama Turkey's with her babies, and I saw her walk past me. There was about oh, there you go. I heard that, whatever that was.
All right. Now I got
I,
it. That was StreamYard's fault. Screw you, StreamYard.
Yeah, StreamYard. I heard Mama Turkey go crook, and I stuck my head out of where I was, and a crow was up in the tree, and I've gone, go away, go away. Bloody thing swooped down, picked up one of the baby turkeys and flew off with it, and all I could hear was this all the way, and I'm like, oh no, and I ran because I could see what it was going to do, and there was another crow, so I gathered all the remaining ones up, but the mama turkey was so distressed, so I gathered all the babies up, and I grabbed mama turkey up, and I took them all up on my back step and sat on the swing chair with mama turkey and the babies, and made her feel better. Animals really do get upset when their babies are absconded with.
Yeah.
I mean, she was
on vacation up in Wisconsin one time, and we were sitting on the back porch, just heavy trees all around you, just, nice out in the country kind of place. And this huge great horned owl comes swooping in on this tree, and it went after a nest full of youngins because you could hear all screaming. You could hear the mommy daddy birds screaming. It just ravaged the whole nest.
Yeah, it's sad. Tanya says you can get a blue pill. Be Donna. Oh dear. Oh dear, dear, dear. Yes, Tanya, she's into it today. She's up with all the cheekiness. Oh gosh. Yes. We should have. Well, we've spoken about animals all morning, haven't we? But animals are a nice subject. They're a happy subject, and they're a funny subject. So why not? So it's only about 2 weeks, isn't it, Tanya, till you set foot on the shores of Australia, and I get to catch up with you. That'll be fun. That'll be good fun. So Tanya and I will go and have some whatever. We'll decide when you're here, Tanya. I do like daytime better. I'm not very good at driving at night. I don't like driving at night.
I'm not either. I'm the same way.
Yeah, I don't
Especially
like it.
Someplace I don't know. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, like I just there's nothing really wrong with my eyes, I don't think, but it's just I glare from the other cars and stuff, and I don't know. And then the animals can run out in front of you, and I just think, So maybe we'll do lunch. There's some nice places to do lunch, but we'll do something for sure. Oh, good. So does Tanya. She prefers doing stuff during the day as well. Yes. And besides that, I'm getting old now, so I like to be in bed early. I don't go to sleep early. I just like to get into bed early, and I can pull the covers up and I sit there and I read a book, or I'll watch some YouTube. When I was younger, I'd go out at night, but not anymore. It's so much nicer to be at home, snuggled in your rugs, or on the couch with a rug and a pillow and watch a movie, something like that. And then, of course, I didn't realise it's only 4 weeks now till I hop on a plane and fly to England. So it's all getting it's like all coming close. And luckily I'm okay. I feel okay. So that's good. But I'm excited about that. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of has anyone in here ever watched a show called Doc Martin? Doc Martin it's called. It takes place in Cornwall. Oh, well, actually, I don't know where it's supposed. I think it's like a place in like a, what do you call it, when it's a show and it's not a real place, it's just a fictional township, but they film it in an actual place called Port Isaac, which is on
Mhm.
the coast, just near Cornwall. Um, um, what's right around the corner, Dr. Deb? Tell me. But yeah, I want to really go to Port Isaac, and because I love that show, Doc Martin, and they don't film it anymore or anything like that. But I'd love to go down there, and there's a lovely little inn, and it's right on the seaside. And I've been watching a few documentaries on the history of the coast. So uh, the smuggling. It's just like where they used to smuggle stuff in after the war with the War of Independence with America, and the English lost. Um, England itself went into a really deep, what's the word I'm looking for? Economical. Things became so expensive that the average person couldn't even afford to buy salt, right? And down, oh, I'm giving you a history lesson now. So down around Cornwall and that coast, pilchards were a big thing. But to keep the pilchards fresh or whatever, they had to have a particular kind of salt. And that salt got really, really expensive. So regular people couldn't afford it. So eventually smugglers started to bring stuff in from different countries, and that coastline was known for smuggling. So just the whole thing is, and I saw a few things in that documentary that I think, oh wow, I'd love to go and look at that. So that's what I have planned to do while I'm there as well. So after my first 2 weeks where I'm looking around, I plan to drive down, and then I think, looking at a map, I think I can then drive back up and go to Wales and Cardiff. I think like, and it doesn't look long. Like I thought, oh, how long is that going to take me to get from London to there? I think it's like an hour and a half. It's not very long. Maybe it's 3 hours, but it's nothing. Like it's not a big drive. So I thought I would do that. Um, uh, Tanya. Yeah, it's a good show. If you ever want a good old giggle, it's a good show. Doc Martin to me is like, he's got Asperger's or something. Like he definitely has. Like that's the character. He's just, but it's a good one. And they all talk like Postman Pat. If you've ever seen Postman Pat, you wouldn't have. It's an English cartoon for kids. They're a particular accent. I love the accent. Oh my God, Insta360 has pet harness mounts for their cameras. I'm so getting that. Oh, yeah, so you can put a GoPro on your
I've been
pet.
looking at those. Those are pretty slick pieces of the Insta360. It films all the way around,
Does it?
and you can go back and select the scene from any of that scene all the way around. And it even has built into the software in the camera where you can have like a selfie stick or where it'll automatically eliminate the selfie stick, so you don't even see it. So you get like these cool like wrap around kind of vistas around yourself, or people put them on like their cars and stuff like, and apparently have them for your pet, so it would just look like your pet walking along kind of a thing. And
How
you could
much
even
do you think? Oh, they're probably really expensive. Are they?
they're not, I mean, probably no more than your standard action cam, probably in the $400 or $500 range, I'm guessing.
So four
But
five hundred American, about 1,000 Australian.
they're pretty, it's those Insta360s are really slick. They're pretty nice.
Ooh, I might have a
Oh,
look at one, see how much they are, because that'd be really good to have when I'm in the castle and everything. Because I'm going
oh
to a
yeah,
couple of castles. I'm going to a couple of castles. I'm going to the Tower of London. Um,
because with the Insta360, rather than you carrying your phone around and you're just seeing that way, it films all the way around. So you could even change the scene just from the same clip of, like, it's looking like you can see behind you kind of a thing, like it's this angle, and then kind of flip it around to where it's just looking forward and all that.
ooh,
It's very matrixy what you can do with it.
I'll have to. I wonder how hard it is to learn. I'll have to. 450 Canadian. Canadian dollars are pretty close to Australian dollars, so maybe it's not as expensive. What's Dee saying? They're cool, waterproof ones too. People jump off water. Ooh, sounds rather exciting. That'd be better than taking along my Samsung. Yeah, yeah, that's one place I do want to go though. I don't think I saw. Yes, Ian, I did a virtual drive. Um, I saw the motorways, and then you get off the motorways in England, and they're all tiny little narrow type roads. And I thought I can do that. I'm used to that in the country here. We've got tiny little roads, so I could do that. And I just take it easy and nice and slow, and stop at the nearest little inn. That's what I want to do. Just stop at a little inn. What was that? What's wrong, puppy? What's the matter? What's the matter? What? What? Tell everybody. He's telling us something. What's wrong, puppy? What's wrong? Whoa, what's wrong, Muffin? Oh, no. I know what's wrong.
Really excited.
Yeah, there'll be a cat. The bird outside that goes is now, I've realised, that's a warning sign. There's a cat around. So when they hear the bird, they know there's a cat. Then they run outside, but they're trapped in here with me, so they can't. Then they run outside, and you hear, and then I go outside, and there is a cat, and it'll be sitting on top of where. There you go. You can hear everyone going cook. That'll be sitting. It's not doing any harm though. Whoa! What? But it's not doing any harm. It's just sitting on top of the chicken house. But they're doing their job, telling it to go away. But oh my God! What? Come up and say hello to everybody. Quick, quick. Oh, can you see her? There she is. There's Muffin. Yeah, she's a good girl. She's a good girl. Now get down. Yeah, that's what sleeps on the end of my bed of the night time. So when I get into bed of a night time, she jumps up and it's all right, settle down. She jumps up and she's just sort of, as a dog should, at the foot of the bed. By the time I fall asleep, and then no wonder I wake up a couple of times during the day or during the night, she'll be either right up beside me or worse, crossways around the bed, and I'll wake up because my feet are hanging out the bed and I'm on a slant. Probably not paranormal. The threes is only. Oh, that will be the bandit cam. Oh, that's a lot of money though. Yeah, little Muffin. She had the operation done on her eyes. I don't remember. I know I told a few people she had her little eyelid was sort of turned in and scratching her eyeball. And I took her to a vet specialist because I was told to, because the regular vet said they couldn't do it. And the vet specialist wanted $4,000. Right? Yep. They said they'd do both eyes for $4,000, and that was the going rate. Well, naturally, I had $4,000. So I just kept daily just washing her eye and stuff, thinking, shit, how am I going to do this? Because that's a lot of money. I thought I'm going to have to save it up and blah, blah, blah. And then someone come.
I don't understand. What was wrong with the eyelid? It was something.
There's a name to it. It's where the eyelid itself, the bottom of the eyelid sort of rolls in. So the hairs on the bottom of the eyelid are sort of in. It's sort of tucked, and you go like, and it scratches your eyeball. So
eyelash. I don't know. That's weird.
Kind of. It's just the skin rolls in. It's got a name. I just can't think what it's called right now. Anyway, so I got a guy to come here and help me de-shed her because she's so hairy. And he said, take her to this vet. That's where I go. And he said, what you've just told me is hugely expensive. So I took her to the vet he said to go to. And I said, okay, give me a quote, thinking, they're probably going to say $3,000 or whatever. $1,000, $500 each eye. And I went, what? And I told them, and they smiled and they said yes. Unfortunately, some vets do that. She said it is a bit of a rip-off. And she said, and they're specialists. So, but they did a beautiful job. Her eyes all healed now, and she's happy as Larry. Yeah, so that's good. Hello, Holly. Where did you pop in? Holly's there somewhere.
I had the wind blowing real hard on the flight line one time and blew like something in my eye. And of course, the one thing you're not supposed to do, you get something blowing in your eye. The first thing you do is you start, oh, geez, I got stuff in my eye. You're not supposed to rub it, but I did.
Oh, it wasn't metal shavings, was it?
Yeah, but I like, man, it was right at the end of my shift. I go home. It's like I'm putting Visine in my eye and all that. It's like, wow, this is really bothered me. It must have really got me good. go to sleep. I wake up and my eye is swollen, and the sclera, the white part of your eye, was just fire engine red. It's like,
Ooh.
oh boy, I better go to the clinic here on base. I go in there, and they ended up putting like these some kind of like dye in my eyes and put the black light on there, and they're like, wow, your cornea has all these vertical scratches in it, but I don't see anything in your eye. And I was like, I'm telling you, I can't even like open it. It just hurts. They're like, oh, wait a minute. This lady grabs my upper eyelid and flips it inside out. There was a little tiny little fleck of metal embedded on the inside of my eyelid, so that every time I blinked, it was scratching my cornea.
Yeah. Yep. 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 I'll
Just got
tell
a
you
cotton
what.
swab and like bloop, done. And God, it felt so good not to have that on there.
Hey, probably not paranormal. And maybe you could ask the vet about Leo's eye because see how much they can operate on the cats too. It's not just an operation they can do for the dogs. Apparently, it's common in some breeds as well, but uncommon in Rottweilers, apparently. But there you go. It happened to her, but she's much better now. Glad to see you got some big apples at the farm with the kids yesterday. That sounds good. Um, yeah, look, I guess as a vet, if you're a vet and and that's your main thing, and people come to you with something wrong with their animal and they can't afford to get it fixed. Yes, it does cost money to do things, right? But sometimes it really doesn't. Sometimes, for example, I had a bunny rabbit that had an abscess, okay? And it was on its little face. And I rang up the vet and I said, "Oh gosh, what do I do?" And they said, "Oh, bring it in. We'll pop him under and we'll clean the abscess and do that." How much will that? Now, this is a single mum with a couple of kids on benefits at the time. Well, a couple of kids. I had 4 kids on benefits. I only had a part-time job as well. So, and they said, "Oh," and this is years ago when my girls were little. So we're going back 20 years ago. It'll cost you $500. And I went, "Oh fuck!" I said, "I can't." I said, I said, I said, and even just to take it into them for $70 at the time to have a look, I could have done that, and maybe they could give me some ideas. No, sorry, we can't help you. Then I went, oh, Jesus. And a girlfriend of mine, her dad was a vet, and he worked for the RSPCA, and she said, "Come and visit my dad." So I went in to see her dad, and he said, "Okay." And he said, "I'll give you a couple of things." So he gave me a syringe that you can, a big gauge syringe that you can pull stuff out with. He gave it a shot of antibiotics for free. And he said, "And do this and do this."
Nice.
It cost him, like, he gave me the antibiotics for free and he looked at the rabbit for nothing. Um, and I just thought, thank God. And I cured the bunny, like I would clean him every day, and eventually the abscess went away. It was prone to coming back, but the minute it would come back, I'd get back in and clean it up. And I had a cat, the same thing, wild, what do you call wild cats?
Feral?
Feral, thank you. A feral cat that my cat brought home. My cat would bring its friends home all the time, and it brought home this feral cat who had a big abscess on his head. He'd obviously been in a fight, um, and he let me cure him. I just, lucky I'm a nurse. I love squeezing gooey things, and so all the pets. And I rang up the vet. I said, "I've got a feral cat here. He's got a huge abscess on his head. What can I do for it?" "I'll bring him in." I said, "He's a feral cat. I'm not going to pay you." I said, "Can you just tell me what to do?" And I said, "Should I bathe it in Dettol or anesthetic?" "Oh, no, don't do that, blah, blah, blah." And then they said, "Bring him in. We'll give you this, this, and this." And I said, "Oh, look, it's okay. No, it's okay." So I cured him too with Dettol. And so I'd wash his little head and squeeze it out
What,
and wash it and squeeze it and clean it.
as an American, what is Dettol? What is
Oh,
that?
Dettol. Smells. It smells. It's an antiseptic liquid, and you would put it on a cotton ball or whatever and dab.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of whitish, milky
But
looking.
not alcohol, but it's
No, no, no,
some
no,
type of
no.
antiseptic. Okay.
Just a, so it's amazing to me too that sometimes a little bit like betadine, yeah, but it's clear. It goes milky. Like if you put it in a bowl with a little bit of water and it goes a milky color. Um, Yeah, squishy things. Nurses love squishy things. I love watching squishy things. Like, I love watching operations. I love watching people get cut open and they get stuff out, and you go,
Wait,
wow.
you don't watch that Miss Doctor Pimple Popper show or whatever that show is?
Nah, oh, I do sometimes. Holly, she's in here. She'll sometimes, she hasn't for a long time, but she'll sometimes send me something and I go, ew. But it's kind of like a ew. Yuck, how did that all get in there? Dr.
I
Pimple
know.
Popper.
Like some of those things, it's just the oddity of it. It's like, okay, I see a little things like I think I've had a spot like that back when I was like a teen, on my face, and just so much stuff comes out of it. It's like,
Hang
God,
on,
your whole
I think Puppy's got something to say. What have you got to say? Are you going to say something? No, now he's not. You talking? Yeah. And then what happened?
oh
Yeah. Do we have to get Jimmy out the well?
oh yes, I heard that.
He really wants to go outside.
He's stuck in the
He
well.
really, he really wants to go out and get that putty cat that's stuck in the well, don't you? But if I let you out, then you're going to go, aren't you? He's a naughty little dog. He pees and poops where he shouldn't. He's a Muffin. She's such a good dog. Like Muffin, outside, never ever done anything in here. Yeah, but you do. Oh my God, jump. Yeah, stay there. Talk to everybody. I think that was a no on getting Jimmy out of the well. Probably.
Let him swim.
Yeah. Hey, what's the matter? Oh, Muffin. And Muffin gets jealous, of course, when I hold Puppy. And then when I put Puppy down, Puppy's name is actually Billy, but he never gets called Billy. I named him Billy after my uncle. Muffin I didn't name. Muffin would have been Bubba because I had a Rottweiler once and her name was Bubba. And when I got Muffin, I thought, I'll call you Bubba as well. And sometimes I still do. Isn't it weird how your brain works when I'm half asleep? Yeah, or whatever.
Julie R's comment is, I 100% agree.
Where is she? I handle human operations, but I can't do animals. Oh, my dog.
We have a channel here called Animal Planet, and they had it was like Animal Rescue 911, where these, the animal control would have to go to somebody's house because basically the dog was like chained up to the fence outside in the sun and hadn't been fed or anything. And it would just infuriate. I couldn't watch the show. It would just infuriate me the way how abusive people would be to their pets.
Yeah. Hey, Har. Hello. Yeah, no, I can't. Look, everybody has a pet at some time where maybe through ignorance or not educating yourself properly, something's happened to your pet and you thought, oh my God, what, not that they've died, but just like, oh my God, I didn't know that or whatever. But yeah, people who chain their dogs up outside or people who go to work, leave their dogs out, like their dogs might be always around them when they're home, but they go to work and the dog frets and barks all friggin' day or cries all friggin' day, and they don't know that. And then when they're told, they don't care. And I think, why have you got a friggin' dog if you're not gonna care about it? Like, let it, like my dogs, even when I'm not here, I've got a security door that has a doggy door in it, right? So if a robber was small enough, they could probably fit through the doggy door, but good luck. I think Muffin's friendly, but I don't think either one of them would like a stranger trying to get through. Like, they'd run away. But, I don't know. The only time the dogs ever fret, apparently, is when I'm not here. So I know when I go away in September, there'll be sad little puppy dogs. But I'll just make sure that I put a nice big rug over my bed and I tell the girls they're allowed to sleep on my bed of a night time. But just, keep them brushed. And then they don't fret too much. But apparently they're sad for the first few days I'm gone. But there you go. You just got to look after your animals. Let's see. I completely understand Julie. In med school, we had a dog. Oh yeah, no, yes, don't even talk about it. I would do the same as well, Dr. Deb. I've
Mm.
when I was nursing, yes, unnecessary operations. When I was nursing, I was told by my nursing teacher, she was a well, matron, sister, whatever back in the day, that's what we called them. And the sorts of operations that they would do on animals just to see what happens, like what happens if the food goes straight in the mouth and through only one short tube to the bottom. Like, and I've even seen pictures of what that asshole friggin' COVID man, what's his freaking name? The one that told everyone, oh, you know who I'm talking about, Fauci,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
asshole. Seen pictures of the experiments he's let go with the beagles. Like, what the? There's no excuse. There's no
Of
excuse.
all
You want to
dogs, a beagle too. It's like the most friendliest dog. Man,
Yeah, I don't. Well, they probably don't do it anymore in medical school, Dr. Deb, but certainly in the scientific field.
they don't
Absolutely.
do it in Western
No,
countries.
oh, well, don't they? So just China.
Well,
China.
I didn't say China, but
Oh, probably everywhere else. But yeah, I trust nobody anymore. I trust nothing. What was that, Karen? Take a photo of yourself, make it into a cardboard cutout so the dogs don't miss you. They won't fall for it. But I normally just leave like
the couple
whatever I've
wouldn't
been.
be talking. They'd know it wouldn't hurt. Wouldn't be her.
Yeah, that's why I say let them sleep on my bed. So I make sure that my pajamas or whatever I take off the morning I leave, I put under the pillow, and their noses are better than ours, but they'll be all right. They're like them, my shadows though. Why do dogs do that? They are your shadows. Like you get like if I got up now and walked out into the kitchen, puppy would be and Muffin would be at my ankles. Not because I necessarily think they're going to get fed, but just because they want to be near me. If I'm in the backyard and I'm gardening, I'll turn around and there will be Muffin just sitting there watching me work. And if I come back inside, she's up and she's back inside. Oh, you can't get much more
We
true
had
love, can you?
do your dogs do this? When we had a dog that we worked with for that wildlife control stuff I was talking about earlier. Dog was amazingly good. I swear, you could speak to it. It was like better than toddler type conversations you could have with this dog, and it would totally understand and do whatever you said. But if a thunderstorm came up, that just the first little roll of thunder, of course, their hearing's way better than ours. That dog would be underneath. If that dog could crawl inside of you, it would, just to get away, just to get that much closer to you. Whenever it would hear thunder, it would
Well,
lose it.
my two don't do that because from when they were puppies, because we get a fair few thunderstorms up here, and when I lived in Victoria, the same thing. So much like I did with my children when they were little, when there would be a thunderstorm and lots of rumbling and some stuff, even with my kids, it'd be like, "Oh wow, wasn't that fun?" Because I don't mind it, and I'd go, "Let's wait." Oh, 1, 2, 3, lightning, or one, like, how you take. And so I did that with the dogs too when they were puppies. And so now there can be a thunderstorm and they don't care. And luckily my kids were the same. So I make a bit of a game out of it with my kids and I made a bit of a game out of it with dogs. So luckily I don't have that issue. Cats is a different thing. The cats run and hide. You can't quite teach. Cats are clever, but you can't quite teach them about thunderstorms. Uh, yes, I think after my doggies go, that'll be the last time I'll have a doggy. I think because by the time they go, I'll be 70, maybe 72. Oh, hang on, no, I won't even be that long because big doggies like Muffin, maybe I'll be 70 by the time the doggies are gone. And I think after 70, unless one of the girls get a puppy, like it's their dog, but I think after 70, oh, you don't know how much longer you'll be here for. Maybe I could get one more, but then I really don't want the responsibility of a dog if I don't know, I'll just stick to my bird. But they are lovely. They are lovely to cuddle.
If I was not allergic to dogs, I would have a house full of them.
Hmm. Used to be a life science place near me, Urban Explorer. After it closed, and found some horrifying photos of. Oh yes,
Ugh.
I saw.
Do you want
Um,
28 days later? That's how you get 28 days later.
Oh, I remember
with rage.
um, many, many years ago now seeing a video of uh, a monkey. It would have been. It looked like a spider monkey, or it looked like a spider monkey, or maybe bigger. Like the ones that you see in Taiwan, the bigger monkeys. And it was in a scientific lab, and it was a scientific experiment to see what angle the neck has to be on, or what kind of pressure it can take before it snaps. That was the experiment. To measure it, the little monkey's head was in a concrete block with air, whatever.
Yeah.
They did the experiment, and the scientist made a joke and was holding up a banana or something. This little thing, it wasn't dead. They'd paralyzed it. And I just thought, what
Oh.
fuck? Now that back in the day, I mean, we're going back a long time. I think it was before I even did nursing, and obviously someone let that leak. But yep, I honestly think, so far as the scientific community is concerned and doing things to animals, like even remember the days when they used to do it. Thank God, I don't think they do it anymore on animals in regard to testing shampoos and makeup. The
Oh
footage
yeah.
is horrendous. How a living being can do that to another living being is beyond me. I see absolutely no excuse for doing it. And quite frankly, if I had a disease and they said we might have a cure, but we've got to test it on animals first, I'd say no. I've got a disease that's going to kill me. Either I'm going to die from the disease, or I'm going to die from whatever you do to fix me. So pick me. Use it on me. Let me be the one that it either fails or works on, because I'm human, and that's who you're aiming to fix. So I'd put my hand up to be experimented on with experimental drugs. What's the worst that can happen? You're going to die, or maybe the island of Dr. Moreau will turn into a zombie. What was that? We have lots of bear. One was got into the high school walking down the. Yes,
Oh,
back to some nice stories, I reckon, about
well, it's just
animals.
bears.
Yeah, but yes, Julie, and Julie would know. Julie's got some ailments that are none too wonderful. I quite frankly think that if someone said, "Hey, we might be able to fix you with such and such," but until we test it on rats and mice and cows and sheep and whatever, we won't know. Well, how stupid. Or pigs. I know pigs' anatomy is very close to a human's in a way, but no, just test it on humans that put their hand up to say yes. Like, I'd put my hand up, you know. Oh, hello, little Miss Muffet. Haven't seen you for a while, Lee.
Oh,
There you go. Sorry, hi to everyone I missed. I had to step out and away for a bit. My son just came home from Alex Bay visiting the castle. Ooh, a castle in Alex Bay. Ooh, oh dear. Yeah. So, I don't know. What other fun things can we talk about? Actually, Ian, I should get you. When I do get to England, Ian, I will speak with you because you're obviously living there. I had a look at the map, and I had a look at where Heathrow Airport is, and that's where I'll be flying into. I had a look at oh, shit, what's it called? The castle where Henry VIII used to live. Oh, I've gone blank. Starts with H. Anyway, I had a look at that castle, and there's a it'll come back to me in a minute. And there's a hotel near it. When you stay at that hotel, you get a free entry into the castle to look around. And I thought, well, I might do that. But then I thought, no, I'm going to be jet lagged, so I won't do that. I'll just stay near the airport, and then because I'll get in on the Friday night, and on the Sunday is when I have to start the 2 week thing with the group of people. So I think I'll just stay near the airport, and there's some restaurants and stuff there. But on the way back, I want to stay at that hotel. But hotels in England are really expensive, Enzo. I had a look at the one that's next to where Henry VIII used to live, and because I really want to see that. Oh, why have I gone blank? Hampton Court. Thank you, Holly. Hampton Court, and there's a right across the road from it. There's this beautiful hotel, but it's for one night. Now this is in English pounds. For one night, up to $800, £800 for the night, which in Australian dollars is 1,600. Like, you basically double it. I thought, Jesus, I can't. That's a bit rough. So I think I'll just find somewhere, maybe an Ibis hotel.
800
No,
pounds is a little over all. It's a little over $1,000 American.
yeah,
It's like,
American.
wow,
So yeah, so it's nearly 16. Yeah, you double it for
for one
Australian dollars
night.
for one night, and I'm like, I'm not paying that.
Go
I like,
go go
like no.
rent a van to drive around and just buy a cot and put that in the back and sleep back
Well,
there.
I'm thinking I'm not too fussed. I'm not worried because England is England. The only thing I'm worried about, honestly, I've been watching is some not mainstream news because they're full of shit, but I have been watching some different news programs of what's happening at the moment in London and different varying areas of London in regard to violence and racial stuff and whatever. And I have been told by close friends that have only just recently come back from visiting the UK, I've been told to avoid certain parts of the London area. It's not what it used to be. So I will probably speak. Oh, even Carl would know, but I'll probably speak with Ian and even Carl, Mythos Paranormal, and sort of say, look, this is where I'll be. Where should I aim to avoid? Because that's the thing, you don't necessarily know. You just see TV and you go, oh, London, jolly old London. Well, it's not jolly very much anymore, unfortunately. It's
Depends on how good your knife fighting skills are.
well, a little bit.
Well, wait a minute. What am I saying? You're Australian. You can do the Paul Hogan thing. You can do, that's not a knife. That's
I,
not.
like, I'm not. It's funny, I'm not scared or anything like that. It's just I obviously don't want to venture into an area of London where it's known that you're not
Stay
safe.
around the you're a person of the world. You know the deal. Just take a look around. If you get a bad vibe, book it.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah. I mean, because there's certain places I would like to see. Holly, for example, was asking me, did I want to go on one of those, or there's tours that do the Jack the Ripper thing. I do want to look at that area because in doing my uh, family tree, like doing my ancestry, I had relations living in the Spitalfields area, which is close to Whitechapel, in that era, right? And there's a cemetery called Forest Hill Cemetery. I want to try and find that because that's where my ancestors are buried. I would love to go and find their graves if I can, and leave a flower or something because they're direct ancestors. But having said that, I also know the area at the moment, so I'm not sure. And I don't want to do one of the classic, where they take a group of 20 people and walk around and say, and she was murdered here, and then the knife. When I don't want that
yeah,
shit. I don't want the
yeah.
drama. I just want to know the actual history. Like, so this is the place. Wow. Okay. And oh gosh, it was only that far to walk. Like, I want to in my head know how far and how long it would take you to walk a certain distance and all that. I want to look at that, but I don't want the dramatic retelling of the murders the way they do, and it's disrespectful, I feel. But I do know of a lady that does tours, but she does it in a very respectable way, and you can just give her some money and she'll walk around and show you and give you the history. And that's all I really want. You guys know me. It's really the history I want to see. So I wouldn't mind, but I don't know if I'll be able to. I would like to do that just because I know that my relatives came. I've even got an address. I've got an old address and I found it on Google
Oh, that is
Maps.
great.
And I know that the house is still standing. Obviously, it would cost you a freaking fortune to buy it now where it is, but the house is still there. So would I love to just walk past the house and look at it? I certainly wouldn't knock on the door and say to someone, hey, my great uncle and my great 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 grandma lived in this house in 1880. Can I come in and have a look? I wouldn't do that because obviously, but it would be nice to just see. And the same when I go up to Scotland. There's a place called Huntly, Huntly, in Scotland, and there's a castle there, and that is where my ancestors on the Scottish side come from. So definitely want to go up there and visit Huntly Castle, which is now basically a ruin. But so, and my side of the family, the place is called Huntly, So I think that's where my last name comes from, sort of. But we're actually, it's the Scottish side of my family were the Gordons. So my great, 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 whatever goes back to the Gordon clan. So that's exciting. So I'd like to go and have a look at that.
I
Um,
mean, I assume there's like a local historian society or historical society or something like that you could probably get in contact with, and they should be able
yes,
to.
point me in the right direction.
Even the local library, I would think, would have
Yeah.
something on that.
And I've seen such. Oh, thank you, Ian. Yeah, well, in London, it will be when I'm in London. I'll be in London the first couple of weeks with that group of people, so I'll probably be pretty safe in London. And I intend, once that tour is over, I intend to leave London. The only place I don't think we're going to with that group is Hampton Court, and I really do want to see Hampton Court. So I'll try and see that before I leave London, and then head up, either head across to Cornwall to Port Isaac and see where Doc Martin was filmed and have some fish and chips. And then obviously I've got to meet up with Beardo in Wadsworth, I think it is, where
I didn't know you're going to meet up with Beardo. That's great.
yes, Beardo's going to be, and his wife are going to be with me at the Ancient Ram Inn for a night. But I've also know that there's a little inn in
Is
that. I think it's Wadsworth.
is
There's
that
a
just
little
someplace you're staying, or is that like a famous haunted site that you're
famous
going?
haunted place. Do I think
Okay.
it's haunted? Do I think anything's haunted anymore? I don't know. I'm getting so skeptical. But again, with me, it's the history. It's so I've done research on. Thank you. Yeah, I've done research on the Ancient Ram Inn, and I've still got to look into a few other things. But basically, the Ancient Ram Inn goes back a very long time. It's very, very old, and along the way, it's been different things, but mainly a pub, mainly an inn where people would stay. So even back in the 60s, that's what it was. It didn't become just a private home until the fellow who's just recently passed away, who owned it, died. So I don't. I don't know. I think the history of it itself, the very fact that you wonder how many hundreds and thousands of people had walked through those doors over the years to get a meal and a beer, and I just because it's old, and the
Right.
town itself looks really cute too. And there is an inn in the town, like a little where you can stay. So we do get to stay the night in the Ancient Ram Inn, but I'll probably stay on an extra night or so in the area and just stay at the inn in town and have a bit of a walk because it's very old. Like it's just what you see in the movies. Like that's how it looks. So there you go. Um, do you own a castle, Karen? No, but it's called.
Just the
It's
one
a
in the fish tank.
yeah, just one in the fish tank. It's called Huntley Castle, but Huntley is the place, if that makes sense. Just like the Tower of London. Um, it's the Tower of London because it's in London. So Huntley is the name of the castle, but not the name of the people who lived there. The Gordon clan actually lived there years ago. So there you go. So I am related to the Gordon clan. And I'm told that after the war between the Scots and the English in the 1700s, they had a name for it. I've gone blank. This big war, the Highlands War, that my relative, the one that turned out to be my great 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 grandpa, Thomas, left. So he was a Gordon, but he left Scotland and went down to England, and that's where the name Huntley came up. He didn't say, I'm Thomas Gordon. He said, I'm Thomas Huntley. And that's where it started. So it's pretty interesting when you dig into your thingo. Who died? Who's John? What did I miss? D. um, Betty listens. Betty's just nice and quiet. Did I miss something? D, explain yourself, unless it's okay. Oh, Betty, are we talking about Betty? Cornwall. Cornwall. What did I say? Cornwall. Oh, well, whatever. Whatever,
Oh
Ian.
God.
Jesus. God. Oh, my God. Oh, John Humphreys. Oh, okay, yes. Well, look, it seems he got quite lucky while he was an old man, though. The incubus or the succubus or something used to have her way with him. Yeah, he was. I remember. I remember when I saw him in Ghost Adventures. Did an episode there. um, so disrespectful, actually, when I look back at that episode. But yeah, and he was talking about the incubus or the succubus or what? Hang on, incubus is the male, succubus is the
That's
female,
correct.
I think. Yeah, I've just got to remember that succubus, and then I'll remember it's female. um, but I remember thinking, oh my God, he needs a haircut, he needs a bath. Like he was so eccentric. I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, bless him. He seemed like a nice enough fella and good on him, like having that house and living in that history. So yeah, he was quite a character. Succubus. Yes, yes. Not, I wouldn't say rude. I'd say disrespectful. Like made a bit of fun of him behind his back, and I thought that was, like I'm kind of saying
It's
things
just
about him in his
tasteless.
bath and
Yeah.
stuff.
It's
But,
just,
but Zach was a bit. And look, granted, I think at that time, I mean, that's going back a long ways. You've got to remember those boys when they started. Zach and what were they? 22, 20, like very young, and kids. No offense to anyone under the age of 30, but you normally don't think. You just don't think, you know. So I'll forgive them for youth. I think he's gotten better now, though. I don't know. I don't watch. I don't watch it anymore. Sucker bits. Actually, sucker bits or suck you bits. Suck you bits. Succubus. Suck you. I don't know. We better get off that. I might get.
us.
So,
What?
well, you could suck a bus.
Wow.
I don't know.
I,
I
I
couldn't.
think I think I've seen that video. It's,
Oh, jeez. Oh, dear. Oh, gosh. I hope everybody else is laughing. I hope I'm making you laugh, Betty. Oh, poor little Betty. I love Betty. You've been here for such a long time supporting me, Betty, and others. She supports others as well. Oh, gosh. Oh, but yeah, so I'll be going there and I'll be going to Cornwall as well. What do I say? Cornwall. Because I say Cornwall. Wool. I'm Aussie. That's how we shorten things. um, oh, it works to remember suck your bit in your bits. Oh, well, yeah, actually, oh, yeah, the mind boggles. I don't want any suck your bit or in your bits at
it's
all on there, thanks. Yeah. Enzo will
interesting.
work. Enzo will work it out. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm not. Look, I'm just looking forward to spending some time with Beardo and his lovely wife, and we'll see what happens. Beardo will have, no doubt, have all of his gear with him. He's been there now a couple of times, though.
It's fun.
When I first invited him, he hadn't been there, which is probably good that he has been there now because he'll know he's right around the house. But but yeah, I'm just looking forward to spending some time with him. Mythos. I've got to talk to him as well because I'm hoping to catch up with him and maybe
Oh,
we'll
that'll
do
be really
something.
fun. That's great.
Yeah, I haven't actually said we'll do anything together, but I'm just happy to catch up and have dinner with him or whatever and have a chat because we talk a lot. But yeah, uh, oh, thank you, Ian. The Jamaica Inn. Can you stay at the Jamaica Inn, Ian? I'll book in and stay there the night and then go on to Cornwall. Cornwall. Yeah, I'll see if Parple's around. I'll send him a little because well, actually that'd be good because Parple, Rob, and Lee from Three Spires Paranormal. I have already said to Lee I'll catch up with him and have a cup of tea. So I've got to see where everybody is in regard to making it work. I don't want to drive that way and then that way and then that way and have to come back. Do you know I want to make it flow on the trip? I could even suggest that they meet me at some of those places, maybe, Ian. If you can, is the Jamaica Inn is haunted, supposedly. I think because I've heard of that before. I could ask them if they all want to come up and stay at the Jamaica Inn a night, and we can all have something to eat and drink, and then look for a ghost. But there you go. Um, Oh, the French. Oh, what did they did something? Was it you, Enzo, earlier telling me something? Oh, yes, yes. We won't talk about that. Yes, we won't talk about the Olympic opening thing.
How long does the Olympics last? Is it like about 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Is it still going on when you show up over there?
No, it'll be well finished. I think. Yeah,
Oh,
thank goodness. Yeah, no, well finished. And that's the other thing I did say I wouldn't mind trying to pop over because it's
you
all
know, to
there.
Paris?
It's all so close. I'd love to pop over and say I've seen the Eiffel Tower and go to the Louvre and see Mona Lisa.
Yeah,
So
see
I
the
don't
Mona
know.
Lisa.
Yeah, because I'll just have 2 weeks, but I also am waiting to get this itinerary from the tour so I can find out where I am on any given night, and I'll let everybody like Beardo, Lee, and um, Mythos and whatever. I'll send them a copy of it and say you anywhere near any of these places where I am on these given nights because they can always come over and I'll go off and have some dinner with them or something. Um, so we'll see, but I still haven't got the actual itinerary. I'm starting to get a bit itchy. I want the itinerary. Yeah. Oh, there you go. That goes to the 11th of August, Enzo. Oh, I might look into the Jamaican Inn.
Yeah,
Um,
there you go.
yeah, if it's on the way to Cornwall and on the way to Cornwall, Cornwall.
Wow.
He's like the he gets me every time on my pronunciation, but I suppose that's okay. At least I don't sound like a tourist when I go there. I'm going to sound very much like a tourist. Listen to me.
Well, as soon as you open your mouth, they're going to know.
As I open my mouth, it's going to be a bloody Aussie. That's all right. I'll say, oh, well, you're just a bloody pom. Can't even say that anymore, can you? Back in the day, it used to be back in the day, it just used to be friendly banter. If you worked with someone who was English and they whinged about the weather, you go, bloody whinging pom, go back to England then. And then they'd turn around and say, oh, you effing Aussie. And like it wasn't nasty. Oh, could be. Like you could say that to be nasty, but you can say anything. But yeah, it's just a pity all that sort of fun stuff's gone. I didn't mind being called a bloody Aussie. I am. Yeah, whinging pom. That's what you'd say. Oh, yeah, just a whinging pom. And then they go, oh, you bloody Australians. There was a show on English TV I used to love. Was it Love? Not Love Thy Neighbour. Three's Company. Let me think. It was an English couple that lived downstairs. It was because the Three's Company show in America was a takeoff on the original English one.
Yeah, we do that a lot.
Something Nest, I think it was called, and you called it Three's
Yes.
Company. I don't know. Someone English in there will remember what it was called, but I used to love watching that. And there was a fella in that who was always whinging about everybody. He'd complain about everything. It was great fun. Several people who organise tours such as the Jamaica Inn frequent the Paranormal Monkey podcast streams. Oh, all right, I'll go over and have a look. Robin's Nest, that's it. Thank you, Dee.
Oh,
And
look at
then
that.
Empty Nest. Yeah, there was Robin's Nest and Empty Nest. I think it was the shows followed on from each other, or Empty Nest might have been. But yeah, they had some great stuff. What's this? We use the word Aussie as the people from Australia and the name of the country. Karen is an Aussie from Aussie. That's right. And we say Kiwi for a New Zealander. Bloody Kiwis. But I like a Kiwi, eh? Tanya knows what I'm saying. I like Kiwis. I've got a couple of good friends that are Kiwis. But yeah, well, Tanya's one of them. I've got a friend called Rose. She's a Maori, and so I would purposely go into work sometimes and get on the Google and learn how to say something in Maori. So when she'd walk in, because I'd always get to work before her, so when she would walk in, I'd say something, or I'd just say "Kia ora," she'd laugh at me. Kia ora just means hello, basically, in Kiwi in talk. Golden Kiwi, yummy. Who's a golden Kiwi? What's a golden Kiwi? Even I don't know that. Is it chocolate? Oh, is it chocolate? The gold wrapped kiwi chocolate? I don't know. D is Australian. Trust me. It's just she comes up there and I go, what? Doctor, the Google. Yeah, the Google. I go to the Google for most of my information. I say that a lot. I'll say to the girls, oh, does anyone want to come to the
Oh, it's a
shops with
type
me?
of fruit. Okay. Is
Oh,
it
is
yellow
it?
in the side instead of green? It is more
Oh,
yellow. Look at that.
I do like the green. I didn't know you
I've
could
never
get a
had
gold.
one. I've never seen one.
Mm. Oh, I'll have to look. It tastes like
I do
custard.
like a kiwi.
Oh, I do like a kiwi. I love kiwi on a pavlova. Have you ever had pavlova, Enzo? I
No.
don't know what the Americans call it. Pavlova is you get your egg whites and you whip them up and you put lots of caster sugar into the egg whites. You whip it up and keep whipping, and a little bit of corn flour, whip it up until you've got peaks of this white stuff.
Oh,
You pop it in
right.
the oven, you bake it, it's marshmallowy. And then you
Yes.
put lots, and it's crunchy on the outside, and then you put lots
Yeah,
of
we put that
cream.
on top of like it's we call it a meringue, like a lemon meringue pie or something like that.
Yeah, it's very much like the top of a lemon meringue pie. Actually, it's all it. Yeah, it is. But this we just do on its own, and it's all crunchy on the outside, and you put cream on top, and then generally I like banana on mine, but some people slice up a kiwi fruit, and I like it. Yeah, meringue.
Sounds
Yum
pretty
yum
good.
yum 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 yum. What was that? Fruit should not be furry. Well, I don't eat the outside of it. I'll peel it. I don't like the furry
I,
bit on the outside. I peel the
I
kiwi.
am once I discovered that you just chop it in half and then have it like a
Scoop
little
it out.
cup and use a spoon to scoop it out. I
Yeah,
was like, I can't eat it any other way now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm a bit the same with the peach, but I can eat the fluffy peach. But yeah, I'd say you do call it meringues. Yeah, so we call it
Yep.
pavlova.
Good.
But yeah. Um, uh, Holly says, "What about peaches, Ian? The fruit of the gods." Yeah, I can eat a peach. It's
It's a little
furry.
less hairy.
It's a little
You
less
don't really
hairy.
notice the hairs so much.
And the kiwi fruit a bit sort of spiky, hairy, whereas a peach is soft. But,
That's 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 a 5 o'clock 5 o'clock shadow for sure on a
yeah,
kiwi.
prickly, like kissing a man with that hasn't shaved. Gosh, gosh, I haven't kissed a man in years. Only on the cheek. That's good enough. Oh dear. Michael, Julie says her daughter eats kiwi like an apple.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The skin and all? Really?
Yeah. I wonder, probably it's like I remember once being told that the banana skin is the best part of the banana, the one with the most stuff that's good for you to
I've
eat.
I've
I
known
tried,
people that have eaten oranges like an apple, with rind and all.
oh, gross. Too
I know.
bitter.
I no.
I mean, if I was starving and then
Oh,
I'm
yeah. Every calorie counts if you're starving. It
calorie
doesn't matter.
counts, but yeah, don't like the bitterness. Same as orange cake. Whenever the recipe calls for orange rind or lemon rind, if you're making a lemon cake, I omit that because it's bitter. I don't like it. I like sweet things.
Orange
Yeah.
rind guy.
Oh gosh, we've talked about animals, fruit, more animals. What else have we talked about? England, how to pronounce Cornwall.
Your big trip coming up, yeah. All the
Big trip
people
coming.
that you're going to be, all the other YouTube personalities you're going to be meeting
Yeah.
up with. That sounds very
Unless they
exciting.
all let me down and don't meet me, in which case I'll badmouth them for the rest of their lives. I'm travelling all the way over to England. They better bloody have time to have a cup of tea with me, I tell you now. But yeah, as soon as I get the itinerary, I will send them a copy of the itinerary so they know where I am, because they'll know. They'll look at something and go, oh, yeah, that's only that far from me. And then they can say, they can meet up with me then, or meet up with me later. I'll just say, well, where are you then? I'll just go somewhere near you and stay the night in something supposedly haunted. And I'm just going to play it by ear for the rest of my holiday. But I'm just noting that a lot of places are really, like, there's a lot of places you can stay at that I've looked at that are absolutely reasonable, like £160 for the night. That's fine. I mean, it's just a bed, isn't it?
Right.
But yeah, I couldn't. No way I can justify frigging nearly $800 for one room just because it's across the road from the Hampton Palace. I'll take a bloody tent and sneak into the maze and sleep there for the night.
That's what
No,
I said.
seriously.
If you're going to rent a vehicle, just get a van and go to the store to get like a cot and just put that in the back and just sleep back there in the back.
Yeah. Hey, I will, Dee. I will. I intend to. I want to go to a few places, and I'll have to work it out though. I don't know how to go live on my phone, but I'll work it out. I'll have to practice, but I'll just go to a few places, and while I'm there, just go live for a few minutes because it'll probably cost me a friggin' fortune for data, which it always does. And that's why I need to stay in hotels where you get free Wi-Fi. But even if I just go, but I want to be somewhere and show you guys, like say, look,
Yeah.
look,
For
where I
free,
am.
free, free Wi-Fi. You know what that leads to? Me talking for an hour about cities underneath the surface of the earth and crappy pizza with worms on it.
That's right. Yes, if you all recall when I was in Virginia City and I did that Washoe Club live stream, was fine while my telephone was tethered to the computer. But the minute I disappeared to go and have a look at something, poor old Enzo got left telling the stories. Oh, telling what's going on? Oh, yes, it's a dinosaur or a lizard person. Oh, careful. That's a pretty picture. Yeah, so
That's
poor old Enzo.
Agartha. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
mystical city underneath the surface of the earth.
what was that? Travel incoming. Awesome. I'm gonna I want to. Yeah. The other thing I was going to find out. I don't think you can go into the. If I do get to France, if I do get to Paris, if I can, I there's also someone there that used to. I don't know if you're still allowed to go into the. Oh God, underneath where all the skeletons were put in France.
Catacombs.
Catacombs. Yeah, I don't think you are allowed into them anymore. Um, um,
Can't imagine you would get a signal down there to broadcast from.
he did do a great job. Oh, hang on, what's that? Ian, pick up a gift gaff SIM card when you arrive. 15 to £20 should cover you for a month. Ooh,
Gift
where do
gaff.
I get a gift gaff? Where would I get that from, Ian? So I walk into a shop and say, hello, could I please have a gift gaff SIM card? So I would take my SIM card out of mine and put it somewhere safe and then put that SIM card in my phone. Very good.
Some good
That's what I
travel
would.
advice right there.
Thank you. Because the good thing about that, it only changes your phone number. It doesn't change how people can contact you because that's all on your phone. Oh, very good advice. Gift gaff. Hang on. Gift gaff. Oh, of course, I've got no bloody pen. Yes, I have. Here we go. I'm writing it down in my handy dandy notebook so I don't forget the name of that. I'll do it now because I know if I won't be able to find it later. Where's a piece of paper? Handy dandy. Gift gaff SIM card. Gift gaff SIM card. And I'll put you to that, except I can't do £1. 15 to 20. There. All right, beautiful. It's on my handy dandy to do list. Oh, and the Jamaican Inn. Inn. I will stay there. I'll find it. I'll go stay there. That's got quite a history to it as well, I think. I think that's got something to do with from memory. I'll have to look into it again, but something to do with smugglers or what do you call it, highwaymen type thing. I think I'll have to have a look. I hope you can stay there. If not, I'm sure there's somewhere close by. Have a look. Oh, okay. Thank you. I'll look on their website. See, Ian's very handy. I'll definitely have to have a cup of tea with you then,
I
Ian.
would bet you would almost be able to pick that up in the airport before you even leave the airport.
I reckon, yeah. I'll have a look. Yeah, and that's a good idea. And I'll just make sure I put my SIM card somewhere safe. Yeah, and then that way, because it cost me when I was in Virginia City, when I got home, I got nearly $1,000 bill for like I nearly passed out. Oh, hello, Earl. Lovely to see you. Yeah, so that's what I plan to do. So as soon as I get the itinerary, I'll send it out to different people and tell them that's where I am. And I'll even let you guys know, because any of you who are in England, if I can tell you, I can even put up a post on the day. Today I will be in this general area, and then you can talk to me back and because I'm not quite sure. Most things when you go on a tour or whatnot, you're sort of jam packed for a certain amount of time during the day, and then you to your own devices of an evening. So I'm not quite sure. So as I say, until I get the itinerary, I don't know where I'll be. But where I'm in places where someone might be close by, it gives me time to catch up and have a meal or a cup of tea or just a hello, whatever. It will be fine. It will be fun. I'm looking forward to it because obviously, And then I'm looking forward to getting back to America next year if I can. Once I get back in October, health wise, I'll be fine. I'm going to get into getting some work and saving up some more pennies so I can come back. I'm thinking around Easter time or maybe a little bit after, Mayish. Mayish would be a good time for weather, I think. Not too cold, not too hot. Um, Definitely coming back to Virginia City and meet up with Enzo, and then go to Kansas. And Julie R, if you're here, remember what I said. You're definitely, when I'm in Kansas and in Atchison, you are definitely coming along with Enzo and I.
Yes,
And,
love to meet up.
and yeah, and we'll go to the Sally House. And what was the other? Oh, you haven't been there yet. You go in August, don't you, to the
Actually,
Mackie?
that was one of the things I wanted to ask for before the show ends. I will not be here next weekend because I will be at the McIntyre Villa in Atchison, Kansas, next weekend as part of a ghost adventure investigation overnight thingamabob. But my big question is I've never done that. I'm a UFO guy mostly, but I'm willing to try and utilize my skills in that ghost world because I believe in all of it anyways.
Yeah.
But I had a question for you, Karen, and for you in the audience, if you have an opinion on it, of what would be the best practices for me as a first timer going into a full run of the whole building all night long kind of investigation. What is your advice?
My personal advice is if you've not used any of the equipment or anything, listen to what they tell you about the equipment. But the equipment is, my opinion on that. That's kind of like just if you're really, really bored. Like I'm not a big fan of certain equipment. But so far as looking out for things or whatever, if you hear a noise and everyone goes, "Oh, did you hear that?"
What's that?
Yeah, yeah. Try. Just see. I piss people off when because other people hear things and I go, "Oh, that's just the wind," or so I know I annoy people when I when I investigate with them because I'm a bit more sensible. I don't just jump and think everything's supernatural. Um, Definitely, if you get a static electricity type feel and
Mhm.
something along with that, it's not a cool breeze or whatever. I have had that happen. So if you do get something like that, listen carefully, try not to talk too much and just listen, but alternately do talk, because if you're somewhere by yourself and just with one other person, if you know a little bit about the house, try and talk to whoever you think might be there, or just sort of introduce yourself. Just treat it like you're in someone else's home and you're their guest, and therefore show respect and good manners, and you might get something that way. But yeah, just listen. Don't jump the minute someone says they saw a shadow or whatever. They might have, and they might not have, because in group situations, everybody sometimes thinks they see things that just aren't there. Um, Keep your phone on record, because just on record on your actual phone, you don't necessarily, you can film if you want, because I
Right,
guess you
right,
can.
right. I actually have several different cameras. I have one's a full night vision. I have an attachment for my phone for thermal imagery. I
Oh,
have
you're better set up than I am. Yeah.
Well, it's there's a lot of crossover with UFO stuff and ghost stuff. I have an EMF style detector, scanner thing. I've got I have a lot of gadgets. I don't think I'll need my Geiger counter, which is something
No,
I've used with
I
UFO wise. I don't think I'll need that,
don't,
but
I don't think you'll
but
need it.
I have a few gadgets. Wear a saucy outfit to attract male ghosts. I would rather attract the female ghosts, but
Yeah, but there you go. Use your eyes and ears more than yeah.
I guess yeah.
And yeah, take some time alone. Yeah, absolutely. Like just take some quiet time and just sit there. And that's actually a really good thing, even when you're with a group of people. Just sort of all say, okay, well, before we get started, let's just all sort of sit around and just listen, because there's certain noises a house can make that are just normal. So listen to the noises of the house, go into different rooms and listen. And go, okay. So as it does get darker or whatever, if you hear that same noise, you can go, oh, that was the blind up in that room, the window was open, or oh yes, there was I saw some pigeons on the roof. And remember that critters can make an awful noise in the roof. It can really honestly sound like a human. So
Mhm.
yeah, but enjoy. And if you've got your recorder going and you think you hear anything, just say on your recorder. So if you're listening back, listen back to this later, and so that when you're
Uh,
listening, you can go back.
I have a couple of I have an action type camera that I'll be carrying around that is good for little. Actually, it's the Insta 360 thing, not the actual 360 one, but it's made by the same company. Their version of like a whatever that hero, whatever the other camera thing is. But it's an action camera, but it's the best for low light conditions. So that's the one I picked out a couple of weeks ago during Prime Day sales. And so this will be the first run on that. So expect some weirdness with that.
Yeah, and expect that at least one person in your group will be an empath or a
No, no,
medium.
no, 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 not in my group. Not in
Oh,
my.
thank God.
I know there's a couple people I have not met personally, but I'm familiar with all of for the most part all of the 9 or 10 people. There's one person that I really don't know that would be to the group, but if anything, we're all XLs and certainly not mediums.
Oh.
But but
You
it,
know, like I've said before, I'm sure there's real ones out there, but just about
oh yeah,
sometimes, I'm sure there are. But yeah, generally speaking, wherever I've gone and someone says that, they're the first people to be going, oh, and I feel like there was somebody did such and such to themselves in this room. Oh, I feel it. And it's kind of like, oh my God, just go away. Like, stop it.
right.
I'm not interested. It's usually a bullshit story.
Well,
And they make
for
themselves
me,
look
I'll listen to anybody that says something like that. It's like, okay, I'll file that away for later. But I have intentionally not looked up anything about the history of this place or what's normal or what people have reported the past. I'm going in totally blank. I don't
yeah.
know, well, the rocking chair at 3 a.m. normally rocks you. Or I don't know any of that stuff.
That's where I think, and actually, I don't know where she is today, Angelina from Bad to the Bone. She had a good point, and which is my point too. It's great to know the history of the place you're going to. So it's great to know who built it, what family might have lived there, etc. What it's not good to know is when you get shown through these places, and every single time you get shown through these places, they'll tell you the history, but they tell you more. Well, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just say, oh, and this is the room where people say they see such and such happen. This is the room where supposedly so and so hung themselves. This is the room where a dreadful murder took place.
Yeah,
This is the room
I don't know.
I've
I
seen
don't
the
know any
shadow.
of it.
Like, don't tell us that crap, because that's exactly what it is to me. Crap. That is someone else's story that has absolutely nothing to do with the history of the house. It's just someone else saying this happened to me, and I don't want to hear it. I just want you to tell me who owned the house, who lived in the house, what year was it built, historically speaking, what connections did it have with any historical event. That's it. if someone was murdered in the home, 100% guaranteed, like, oh, this is, like if I went to the Lincoln Theatre, or not the Lincoln, is it called the Lincoln Theatre, where he was assassinated?
Yes.
Obviously, I know President Lincoln was assassinated in that theatre. So, absolute, someone passed away in that theatre. That sort of thing, that's great to know, but I don't want to be told, and his ghost is seen walking across the stage, whatever, because it plants a seed in your head, and humans
Right,
are
right.
easily
That's
manipulated.
why I didn't want to know any of that kind of stuff. I have zero research for the McIntyre Villa about any of that stuff. I'm sure there's going to be, somebody's going to say something during the investigation,
You're bound to
and that's fine.
get,
But I'm not going in with all right. It's 3 a.m. That's
and
when
that's
the
when the man
rocking
is,
chair moves. That's when
yeah,
the shades over here flip. That's when they hear footsteps up in the attic, or none of that stuff. I have
yeah,
no perceptions about any of
yeah,
that stuff.
and
So
that's
I'm going in
exactly,
totally blank.
yeah, that's exactly the stuff you want to avoid. That's why
Right.
sometimes I go to, like, for example, when I went to the Washoe Club, I had already researched it, so I already knew the truth about the Washoe. And I know the people that give the tours. Okay, so I know them, like I eat with them and talk to them while I'm there. And they said, "Do you want us to give you the tour?" And I said, "No." I said, "Just show me how to get in and out. I'm right." I knew the history. So I knew who actually died there, and I knew the history that there was never any prostitutes. And so I knew all that. Um, I didn't, I've heard people say, oh, on the third floor, you hear people running up and down, and I've seen eyes and so on. Um, so I had heard that, but it can put you off because you think, oh, that's the third floor. But then you go, wait a minute, that's not a historical thing. That's someone saying. So I sat on the third floor up there, knowing that people had said that happened, but also knowing that on the third floor, someone had taken their own life. So that's where I was speaking to John, the person who'd taken, but also noting that and knowing that there's raccoons that live out there on the other side of the building, noting that the attic was open, the manhole to the attic was open. I could see stuff up there. So if I heard anything, and I didn't, by the way, but if I did hear anything, I would not automatically go, that's a ghost. I'd go, oh, could be a raccoon. And I'd run and have a look because I still haven't seen a frigging raccoon. um, so I think knowing the history of a place is a good thing, but discarding all these silly stories you get told on the tours through a haunted place, like they tell one in there about a prostitute called Lena. There was never a prostitute called Lena, but people get
Right.
told,
Right.
and when you see these medium people sit there and go, oh,
So yeah,
oh my
I
God.
learned that from you. Is that's why before any of this stuff, I was like, I don't want to know anything. I'm not going to do any
Yeah,
research. I don't want. I'm just going to totally go in blind. Like it's a totally different building. Hey, there's weird stuff in there. Okay, cool. I'll set up stuff. And to be fair, there's going to be 9 other people with their own stuff and a lot of them have been there before,
mm,
and they'll be setting things up, and they'll know what to expect. And maybe like just beforehand, as we're setting stuff up, I may ask, okay, why are you setting up 5 cameras in this one spot? Just so I know.
yeah,
But
like that's okay, but yeah, I just think that that's the best way to go in. Absolutely, I do think people should know the history. And like there's certain places that it's hard to avoid, like the Sally House. It's hard to avoid the fact that people say there's a demon and there's because it's just everywhere, right? But again, if I went there, I know there's not, so I'm not going to even be bothered with that crap. If I go there, and we will go there, I'm going to be more. I'll take a gift for the lady of the house and a little flower pot or something, and I'll just be respectful and know that that was the Finney home, and I'm walking into what used to be their home, and I'll talk about their lives and history while we're in the house, see if that triggers anything. I'm
is
not
that
overly.
something I should do? Is bring a gift?
No, I'm just doing that because I like the Finney family.
Oh.
and I'm a bit strange. Oh, you could if you know who lived there. Um, because I don't know who else is in my age group that when you would go and visit, so you go to visit someone's house, and Enzo, you must be in this age group. Your parents must have taught you this.
Sure.
When you
Yeah.
go to visit somebody, you take something, be it a cake, some
Yes.
biscuits, flowers. You're just going there for an afternoon
Like
visit.
a
You
gift.
knock on the
Sure.
door. Hello, just calling past. These are for you. It was always, well, you always took a gift when you visited someone's home. So I tend to think that, you know, that's why when I go to the Sally house, I will take a gift. So I know who used to live there, I know the family, and I think, well, I'll just take a little flower pot or something. But I might plant it before I go so it doesn't die. But just sort of walk in and say, hello, I'm here to visit. My name's Karen. I brought you this gift, and then just sit around and tell you guys some stories about the family and what they used to do in the town, and then we'll just sit there quietly and see if anything unfolds. But if anything unfolds, at least it should be someone saying thank you for the flowers. But I never.
Actually, it's actually very interesting. I wonder if never right. I agree, Dr. Deb.
Hmm.
And that's that era classical response. But I wonder if you did show up with just like a big bouquet of flowers for just showed up. I mean, I wonder if that would initiate a response, kind of a thing.
Well, like I know, I have visitors come visit me sometimes, and if they're from way out of town, you don't expect anything. But oftentimes you've seen that they've stopped past the supermarket and just grabbed some rolls and ham or something. They've never. I always got taught never visit anyone empty-handed unless you're just driving past and you stop and oh, hey, sorry, I was just driving past, sorry. And I'll even say, oh, I haven't brought anything, I'm so sorry, because I was brought up that way. But yeah, and that's what I
Lovely
think
tradition. I wish we had
it
more of that.
is. It is, and I always got taught it was really rude. If you were invited, if I say to you, Enzo, would you like to
Well,
come for dinner tonight?
well. In this context, I mean, I'm visiting the McIntyre Villa. Uh, looking to make contact with maybe someone's spirit that may still be there.
Mm-hmm.
Would bringing a gift like flowers or something. I mean, I don't know what would be appropriate, but
Certainly, in
is that something that would be interesting? That would be
oh, you could
interesting.
always take if you're in Atchison, maybe stop by. At least find out who. Well, Julie probably knows. Julie, who used to, I'm assuming someone called McIntyre used to live in it. If you know the lady of the house's name from back in the day, just show up with a little bouquet of flowers and just say, "Oh, hello, Mrs. McIntyre. My name's Enzo. Thank you for allowing me to be in your home for the night. Here's some lovely flowers for you," and just pop them on the thing. I just think whether or not anyone can hear you or whether or not it's haunted or whatever, I think it's just a nice thing to do. Um, and I
Actually, really good. I like that
yeah,
idea.
yeah. I mean, how much is a bunch of flowers? A couple of bucks? Like, it's
Yeah.
just um, yeah. We actually, Julie, when we go to the Sally house, we will maybe wine. I don't know. If you like
This,
wine, I can do some wine. I'm not
this is
actually.
before we even go in. Is what she's expecting to get.
Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, take some flowers. For example, there's a house. Oh, someone please, Joe Vitale went there, and they're doing a documentary on it. Oh crap! There's a house anyway that's haunted and supposed to have a demon and babies buried in the basement. Um, all that sort of stuff. I'm trying to remember what it's called, but I did some. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of the house. Munro. Thank you. The Munro house. I did research that house. Okay. So I know a lot about the history. I did a bit of research for Joe on that as well. So the Munro house, for example, if I were to go to the Munro house, I would take a rose in a pot because the lady that lived there for a very, very long time before she got sick and had to go into a nursing home, and then she passed away. She had that house had the most beautiful rose garden, and her name escapes me at the moment, but she would enter into gardening competitions in the town, and she won quite a lot of times for her roses.
Oh,
Right, she had the best roses in town. So if I were to go to the Munro house, I would walk in with a little rose, and say hello. I can't remember her name now. Hello, Mrs. So and so. I'm here in your home for the evening, and I know you love roses, so here's a rose, and pop that down. Um, is she there? Probably not. But if she was, she'd probably really like that because she loved roses, and she would show her roses every year. So things like that, like if you know little things like that about the house you're going to, about knowing something about the people who used to live there, not the ghost stories, not the ooh, there's a lady in white seen at the top of the stairs, not that. Just who did live there? What was the history of the house? And therefore think about a gift and take that. It might be someone who used to make whiskey or something. So if that's the case, take a little, hotel size bottle of whiskey or something. Yeah, or just say, hey,
is this hotel size? Because
yeah, hotel size. There you go. Finish it off before you leave, and just say, I'll drink it for you. But do you know what I mean? That
honestly, I have heard where if you pour a glass like for them and I pour a glass for you, kind of a thing, that there has been responses like that. So
yeah,
I've
yeah,
even heard just leaving some just like open tobacco kind of a thing. Tobacco. I mean that's more of a Native American thing with raw plain tobacco, but that still carries over when you start getting to like the 1800s time frame. That's still a valid thing that could
yeah,
be
yeah.
liked, I guess.
Well, that's what I mean, Dr. Deb. A lot of you, if you watch things now, nobody. Well, hang on. I'll tell you what. I did see an episode of Ghost Adventures once where Zach did take flowers to a lady spirit that was supposed to have been murdered. I can't remember where he was, but he took her flowers and he said, that's what I mean. He kind of grew over the years. He stopped. And he actually said in an interview once when he looks back at the old episodes, he was so disrespectful. So he's grown and learnt to be a little bit more respectful, despite the fact that still when I see episodes, it's like, are you going to scratch me? It's like, oh, but yeah, was that Enzo's moonshine? No, so I have seen, but I don't see it much. Lee from Three Spires Paranormal, he went into a home. He does it. He doesn't take a gift. I don't think he took a gift, but he does go in. Four roses. There you go. He does go in and say hello to whomever he thinks lived there, and thank you for allowing us into your home tonight. So he says things like that. But I would like to take a gift, even if it's just flowers.
That's really
Um,
good. I hadn't considered that at all. That's pretty good. I'll have to do that.
Yeah. Yes, Dr. Deb, the lady that he mocked in the bathroom. Again, remember that there was never a tub back in the day. You can watch my episode on the Silver Queen. The actual the bathtubs and all that sort of thing weren't put in until the 1990s. So there was never a prostitute killed herself in a bathroom in room 11. Just so technically he didn't give disrespect to anybody because it never happened, but yes, that episode he actually spoke about that and said he was very disrespectful. Um, but yeah. Um, uh, yeah, exactly, Kipper. There was never bathtubs there. But look, it's a story that's grown and been told, and well, it's whatever. If people want to go there and believe it, they can go there and believe it. But I was actually watching. I think I spoke about this the other day. An episode of Fear, Project Fear, and I watched it because they were in Virginia City. I didn't watch it. I just want, they've been in Virginia City and they went to the Washoe Club and whatever, but I didn't watch it all. But I did watch them while they were in the Silver Queen. They were in room 11 and 13, and those rooms are together. They're joined. And I've changed the linen, like I've changed the sheets and I've washed the bathrooms and I've folded the towels, and I'm looking at it and I recognised one of the covers, the bed covers. I've gone, oh, that's that lovely purple one, until they go to nighttime thingo, and then I'm not even listening to what he's saying. I'm looking in the room and I'm going, oh, Connie folded those towels. And then I'm looking at where she puts, Connie's very fussy about where she puts the tissues and the do not disturb sign on the tables. I've got, oh, Connie's put those there. So I'm watching this whole episode missing the Silver Queen Hotel. And I've sat in that room. I sat in there for quite a while. I can't remember if I ever made an episode out of it, to be honest. But I sat in there for a good half an hour by myself in room 11, not to think that there was a murdered, a suicided person in there, but just to sit there and listen and talk. Nothing happened. And even my friend Connie, who is there just about every day of the week by herself, sometimes when it's empty, nothing's ever happened to her in there either. Could it be haunted? Absolutely, because of the lady who died in the apartments next door. And there have been people die in the hotel, men. So there's definitely been deaths in the hotel, just never a lady in room 11. That's just a fabricated story. And again, I think that comes from the stories that were fabricated back in the late 40s, early 50s to get people in, as a lot of them were. So it's okay. People, I used to get really cranky. But if I'm there, if I'm at the Silver Queen and people have booked the room 11, I give them the full history of the hotel as to who really did die in the hotel and their names. And then I say, so if you're hearing anything tonight, maybe talk to those people. You'll have a bit more luck than talking to someone called Rose who never died in room 11. But there you go. Oh, dear. What's the time? Oh, my God. We've been on for 2 hours. How's that, guys?
We made it.
We made it to 2 hours. So, yeah, so I'm looking forward to going to England and, hang on, what's that? Goldie, Enzo, I believe that's Goldie. All right, we'll take Goldie some flowers. I'll look it up for you, Enzo, and find out what the name of the thing. Oh, Holly, I feel like so many ghost stories are about female ghosts rather than male. I wonder it's because wind noise. No, I think I don't. Actually, you're right. I don't know, but I do know that in the Silver Queen, for example, that I know of, 3 male documented deaths on that land, and 1 female death in the apartment that you access. It's the apartment. It's the Silver Queen apartments. They're right next to the Silver Queen. So that's where, in fact, one of the current owners stays. She's got an apartment there. And I've been in there and I've spoken out loudly to the lady who did pass by her own hand, and nothing happened. But if anyone's going to haunt that hotel, it'd be her. It would definitely be her. So I think because of how she passed. But yeah, it does always seem to be a lady in white, doesn't it? Either a lady in white or a dark shadowed man in a top hat with a walking stick or a shadow person.
Yeah, got the big hat.
Or even terrible, horrible things that walk on all fours and climb up the walls. Full of crap. I think people have been smoking too much of the wacky tobacco before they go in. Because women are emotional and men aren't. Oh, men are emotional. It's just women talk about it more. Enzo's a very soft, lovely, emotional gentleman. He just doesn't talk about it. I think, yeah. Oh, actually, yes, Slender Man. Yes.
Oh, Slender Man.
Yes, I was talking about it. I have looked into it, so I do know exactly where it started, which is rather boring. But Enzo came up with another good point for me, so I will put an episode together on it, except it probably won't go where you think it might. But yes, I definitely know where the Slender Man came from.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Enzo. So he's inspired me actually, because I was very lackluster. I thought, oh my God, is that it? And then Enzo reminded me of a few other things, and I thought, all right, I'll do that tack like I did for the Black-Eyed Children, which are also BS. but it's all right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for spending this last 2 hours with myself and Enzo. And I think it's been enjoyable. I don't think I've insulted anyone today. I don't think we've had
Oh
any
no,
drama.
I've gotten
We've
some great advice. I love this idea of gifting,
yeah,
the
gift.
gifting idea, but at a home, I'd never even considered that.
Yeah, I just think of it because it is something in my era I was brought up to do.
Because
And Holly, even Holly knows to do that. Holly would come and visit me. She'd always bring me yummy orange and poppy seed muffins. She would.
oh,
So, see, it depends who's raised you. I was raised by my grandparents and always told you don't go to anyone's house empty-handed
that's
unless
a
it's a
really good point, though. It
you know,
really is.
it is. You just don't. It's a yeah. No Karen rants today. I did that yesterday. Yeah, if you missed my members only rant yesterday, go in. But that's the last I'll ever talk about that shit anyway, isn't it, Tanya? Oh, shit! I said shit. Yeah. Night,
My
Julie.
freaking
And
ears.
oh no, everybody, thank you so much for being here. This has been delightful. I can go and have some lunch now and I have a lovely day. I'm going to go out in my garden and do a little bit more. I should take a couple of pictures of the different things, except I've got to get wood chips now or mulch to put down because all of my chicken, like, they've dug the ground up. They've done a brilliant job. They've actually done all my hard work for me. The chickens have, but now I've got to get mulch and cover up all the bare dirt from where the weeds used to be. So they've done a job
Careful!
for
I
me.
hear there's a cat out there.
Yeah, there is a cat out there, but it hasn't tried to hurt the chickens. The one that did kill the chicken, the little fluffy one I had, I haven't seen it. So this ginger cat, I don't know. I think the ginger cat just wants attention, so we'll do it. Yes, I will. I'll do a garden too. I'll tidy it up a little bit first. And I'll
I
do
agree with Holly. We need a new tour.
Yeah, yeah. I'll do that for the. We'll do that for the members. Why not? Because no one else needs to see it. I know. Whatever. We'll do that. We'll do that. All right. Well, lovely, lovely, lovely. Love you all, and this has been a ball. And I hope it's warm up down there for you, Dee. What's that? Oh yes. Shh. Shh. You could be onto something there, Dee. Look out for my episode. Yeah, that was. I didn't think she did. Are you sure, Holly? I'm getting onto it. I thought those little girls went to. Well, we'll find out,
I
won't we?
guess we'll have to tune in to find out.
Yes, I guess I'll have to. All right. I love you all, and I'll see you later. And yeah, I'll do that. I've been inspired now, so I'll get onto that episode later on this afternoon. Oh, she did. Oh, well, shh, no spoilers. All right, everybody. Love you loads. Look after yourself, Betty. If you're still listening, sleep well, my darling. And I'll talk to you soon.